Welcome back to Arise Africa. Now to the Senate. Let's cross live to Abuja, where the candidate of the Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party, Olanrewaju Osho, joins us now. Mr. Osho, it's great to see you. We just want to go straight into the...
Hi, Mercy. Hi, Lakwe.
Hi, how are you doing? We just wanted to go straight into the interview.
I'm doing good.
Great. Now, the Abundant Renewal Party, what are your main philosophies for Nigeria?
Thank you. Main philosophy for Nigeria is recognizing that Nigeria was destined by God to be a country of abundance. And that's where we brought our name from. You know, in 1960-62, Nigeria ranked highly above Korea, even most of the countries like Malaysia, you know, India, Turkey, Mexico. Now, all these countries have left us way behind. You know, even Taiwan that are way behind, and Singapore way down behind us under the ladder are now doing so well above Nigeria. So we want to restore Nigeria to abundance as a party, and we are doing it through our tripod of renaissance, renewal, and respect.
Okay, now, Mr. Osho, let's talk about you in particular. Now, you would like to become a member of Senate. What exactly do you have to offer Nigerians? Because we have so many politicians vying for office, but so few people who actually intend to do something for the greater good. So what do you intend to do for Nigeria?
That's an amazing question. You know, for Nigerians, I'm actually targeting broad targets, Nigeria as my country and FCT as the constituency I'll be representing. And basically, I want to redefine leadership. Leadership in Nigeria is arrogant. Leadership in Nigeria is pompous. Leadership in Nigeria does not serve the people. You know, it's a privilege to serve. And the people owns the power. That's why politicians keep coming to ask for their mandate, you know, to represent them. So I want to redefine leadership, and I want to up the ante of representation, you know, for Nigerians and for the people of FCT that I will be representing. You know, a senator is to represent the people, not to represent himself. So if you are representing the people, people interest should come first, not personal interest. And then with people interest comes the national interest. And if we're able to focus in these two areas of interest, and, you know, we make ourselves interest to come last, then we will be good representatives for our people and be able to transform the societies that we're representing. What we have currently is not good representation, you know, and that's why most Nigerians have lost faith in the Senate. So I believe that as God is bringing me forward, I believe that there are so many Nigerians also like me all across the country who are angry with what is happening in our country, who believe that the worst of us cannot continue to represent the best of us for the best of Nigeria to manifest. So I'm standing out to bring the best of Nigeria to the fore.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you want to make the nation abundant. You mentioned that Nigeria is an abundant nation and you want to restore it back to that. Now, how exactly do you plan to do that? And I want you to tell me specifically in terms of the economy, because we have just come out of a recession. And like you said, we are a resourceful country. What plans do you have in place to take Nigeria to that next level?
Oh, okay, that question is double barrel. So when you mean you're talking about my party, and then how I can, you know, bring this to scale for the FCT people. You know, for example, we are being a nation majoring in minor and minoring in major. You know, oil is the least of our resources. For example, my presidential candidate, Tokwe Fashoa, recently released an article on how Nigeria can even prosper more from investing in palm oil than in the crude oil that has made all of us a lazy nation. If you go all across this country, you know, mining is taking place illegally. I visited, you know, five villages in FCT 3 days ago, and I learned that in one of them, gold is being mined illegally. Because why? Our government has focused only on oil, and there are so many other natural resources that God has given to us to prosper us as a nation and bring our abundance to light for everyone to see. We are not, you know, doing anything on that. So in one of those villages that I also visited, you know, just 3 days ago, I found out that just 5 villages could actually produce beans for the whole of Nigeria in FCT. But nobody is doing anything about this. You know, so in ANRP, we are going to focus on the core resources that God has given to us that has been neglected by the people thus far, because they are benefiting so much from, you know, from the oil that for many of us, it looks to have been more of a curse than a blessing. You know, because Look at countries that have oil like Nigeria, like Saudi Arabia, you know, like Qatar as a country. You get to their cities, you feel like you are in New York, or you are in London, or you are in any of the cities in Germany. But you know, we have villages all over the places. None of our cities are beautiful for tourists to come and visit. You know, so we are bringing abundance by focusing on core economic products that have been left behind, particularly even tourism. You know, we could make a lot of money from tourism. You know, Dubai as a city has 40 million visitors in 1 year. We're not talking of UAE. We're not talking of those that are visiting, you know, Abu Dhabi or Ajman or Sharjah or any of the cities that they have developed. You know, but we're not ranking well in many of the indicators, you know, of economic prosperity as a nation because we have neglected. Basically, we're a lazy nation. 36 states depending only on oil, and they refuse to, major on the blessings that God has given to them and tap them. You know, I was told of a village in Taraba where our timbers are being illegally, harvested and taken over to China. And that state just depends on oil. So there are many resources that 36 states in Nigeria can actually, tap into and bring the abundance that God has blessed Nigeria with.
Now, Mr. Osho, you made
and ANRP will do that for Nigeria.
I hope so. Now, Mr. Osho, you made a very good point. A country with the natural beauty as such as Nigeria should be earning money from tourism. Now, one of the biggest challenges we have is that we cannot exactly have a viable tourism industry if the security situation in Nigeria is as it is right now. Now, I wanted to ask you, what is your take on the current spate of insurgency, and how do you think that we can improve the security situation here? Briefly, because obviously, like I said, we cannot invite people to our country if it's not safe.
Permit me to disagree with you on that, and I'll explain. If we keep focusing on the security issues, as you know, and inhibition in promoting our tourism industry, we will be shooting ourselves in the foot. I went to a city in Mexico called Ixtapa. And you know, Mexico today is one of the tourist destinations in the whole world. You have Cancun, you have Ixtapa, you have Mexico City, and so on.
I did say briefly, Mr. Osho.
The drug laws. You know what drug laws are doing in Mexico.
Yes.
A lot of people are killed on a daily basis in Mexico. Yeah, but because the infrastructure is developed, people keep trooping to Mexico.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Olanrewaju Osho. Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Best of luck. Thank you.